So the next one we're looking at is the SETGID special permission. So the SETGID special permission works on files as well as folders. So remember, the SETUID only works on files, particularly executable files. The SETGID is for files and folders. So it allows us to inherit the group owner. Remember that the SETUID was allowing us to inherit the account owner or the user owner. So in running the program, we would run it using the permissions of the account that owns the file. But with SETGID, we are able to run it with the permissions or the privileges of the group owner rather than the group permissions of the user running it. If we use it on directories, so this means if the bit is switched on a folder, any file that you create within that folder is going to be owned by the group owner of that folder rather than the group of the user. All right, so here there's a good example I listed here. So for example, if you are logged into an account named Sweshi, okay, you're logged into an account named Sweshi, and Sweshi belongs to a group named Sweshi. All right, so Sweshi account who belongs to Sweshi group as their default or start group. Okay, the way it's supposed to work if the SETGID is off is that when you create a file, the file should have your account and group ownership. So if I create a new text file, the text file will belong to Sweshi account and Sweshi group if SETGID is off. But if on this folder we switch on SETGID, all right, and then let's say the folder is owned by maybe an account called lecturer and also a group called lecturer. So when Sweshi enters that folder and creates his own file, even if the file will be owned by the account Sweshi, the file will be owned by the group lecturer instead of group Sweshi, right? That's how it works. So meaning if you switch on SETGID on a folder, it means that that folder is going to any file that's created within that folder, the group owner will be the owner of that folder, the group owner of that folder. So that's how it works. So to enable it, okay, it's very, very simple. So here we've got a file called example.txt, or we can even use the folder example here. So we can simply say chmod g plus s. So g plus s, that means that we are going to be adding the SETGID bit. Okay, so we can then say example. So if we do ls minus l, we'll see that the group section will now have an s. So the s there means that we have the SETGID bit on, meaning any file that is created in this folder by any user will belong to the group called root. Okay, that's what we mean. Of course, we can remove this using chmod g minus s example. When we do ls minus l, we'll see that the s will go. So in this case, that is taken out. So if we go inside this folder and then we create our own file as maybe another account, let's say account Sweshi, the file will be owned by Sweshi user and Sweshi group. It won't take the group ownership of root because the SETGID bit is off. We can still use octo for this, so using numbers. So we can say chmod. We have to use the number 2 in front of the standard permissions. So the standard permissions here are read, write, execute, which is 7, and then read, execute, so that's 4 plus 1, 5, then read, execute, 4 plus 1, 5. So that's 755 example. So when we do that, we'll say ls minus l. We'll see that it's done the same thing. So meaning, if you prefer, you can use this, or if you prefer, you can use this, whatever is easier for you. And unfortunately, when it comes to the removal of the SETGID, so I prefer using chmod g-s on the file or folder. Okay, it's more reliable. Okay, so we see that it can take that out. Let me just clear this and then do this one more time. So if we say chmod g plus s on example, we see that it's able to add the s, meaning the sticky bit is on. Sticky bit, rather, the SETGID bit is on. Okay, and if we remove it, chmod g minus s example, this is also going to work. It's going to remove the SETGID. When it comes to octo, so it's supposed to be 2, then if you put 2 in front of the standard permissions. So 2 and then whatever the standard permissions are for the file or folder. In this case, we've got rwx, r minus x, r minus x, right? So that's a 755. So we put 2 in front of that, and that's going to switch on the SETGID, and this is what happens here. But unfortunately, when it comes to removing, technically it's supposed to be you add a 0 at the front of the standard permissions, but for folders, for some reason, this still comes back. If it's a file, it works without a problem, but if it's a folder, it doesn't always work in my experience. So I prefer just using the letter representation rather than the octo representation. Okay, so like that, the S will definitely go. Right, but if we try that on example.txt, it can add using the octo. So chmod 2755. In fact, since the example, we use example.txt here, since this is a file, so we'll say rw, that's 4 plus 2, which is 6, then 644. Okay, so example.txt like that. So this will enable the bit. You can see that the letter S comes there. Okay, if we want to remove, we put a 0 in front of the standard permissions, and then we see that it's gone. So you see that if we're removing on a file, we can remove on a file using the octo form without any problem. But if we're removing on a folder, like in the example shown earlier, it was not able to remove. So for consistency's sake, it's just easier to use chmod g minus s on both the file and the folders, and that will be more consistent. So that's my advice. So thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment,